Thank you for coming. Nandito po tayo today para mabigyan ng liwanag itong rationalization process. Alam ko maraming malabo, no? Pero sana through this process and the next steps that we will take, no, mabigyan ng liwanag at medyo tumaling yung mahirap na dinadaanan natin. Bago yun, I'd like to thank the CSC and the DPM for being here. No? Walang mawawalan ng trabaho.
Oh.
Status is formally given as an option. Affected staff may remain in government service until they retire, resign, or voluntarily separate from the service. Malinaw dapat po ito. Sa ulo natin ito. Walang mawawalan ng trabaho. Next slide. Beyond that, we're even going beyond DO 366. Early retirement is offered to all, affected or not. Staff may opt to retire with full upgraded through EO 77, EO 366 benefits. All may stay in the government service as CPI. There is no time limit in the CSC's pool. Those who cannot transfer shall have a home in the new TELOF-NCC-ICTO as CPI. And direct transfer to selected agencies is made available as regular employees, not as CPI. Ito po yung DOST, DOTC, and NTC. Next slide. Before we continue, gusto ko explain po yung rationalization process. Typically, ganito po yung proseso ng rationalization. Unang-unang step, you review the mandates and functions. In our case, we have to review the three agencies, the former CICT, the TELOF, and the NCC. After reviewing the functions and mandate and functions, i-review yung organizational structure and staffing pattern para makita kung sapat yung organization para implement yung functions. And then, there's a review of the current staffing. Unahan niyo ako. Okay. Yung nasa baba po, this part, ito yung produkto ng bawat step. So you have a document of the mandates and functions, and then you have a section there on the organizational structure and staffing pattern. And then after reviewing, you come up with a staffing matrix, which includes the list of affected. And then, as per EO 366, you inform the affected 10 days before it is submitted to DPM. Within that period, meron pong appeal. You can appeal na affect ka. There are other requirements or parts of a rationalization plan, which are the program activities shift, program activities and projects, and then the budget shift, and other change documents like disposal of assets, etc. And then once it is reviewed and approved by DPM, it becomes the approved rationalization plan. Next. Doon po mag-i-implement. So there are yung tatlong options. Pasensya na kung hindi mabasa, but it says, transition and turnover, selection and placement of affected who opt to apply for new positions. Another option is yung mag-early retirement, wherein they are given 2 months from approval para mag-early retirement. And then, you going to the CSC school if you want to stay in the service, and wherein you have 1 year to be transferred to another agency. Okay, ito po yung prototypical rationalization process. Hindi po nagamit exactly itong proseso ito. Next line. Ito po ang ating proseso. So, nag-review ng mandates, no? Nag-review ng organizational structure and staffing pattern. We came up with the function mandates, the organizational structure and staffing pattern. Ito po ay ginawa in consultation with DPM, of course, the CMP, DPM, OPLC, ito yung Office of the Chief Presidential Legal Counsel, the CES Board, the CSC, COA, and other stakeholders. No? And we also went beyond the 366 by making available the draft documents as they were being developed to the general body. No? Now, ito pong part na to, this was reviewed and approved by DPM on May 2. And it is now what is being referred to as the approved rationalization plan. Now quotation marks po yan because it is not exactly as dun sa prototypical process. Okay, so nandito na po tayong lahat. We're now in this portion. Ang kulang talaga dito is yung list of affected, the staffing matrix, which is really the source of all the confusion. No? Sana, meron na tayo nun para yung mga empleyado alam nila kung saan sila, kung anong mangyayari, kung anong pwede nilang gawin. No? But DBM has actually gone beyond 366. Can you press it? By providing even at this option. No? Ngayon, yes, medyo mahirap kasi hindi mo pa nga alam kung affected ka eh. Di ba? So, now, we're given a deadline. The current deadline is 2 months, no, to do all of this. Okay? Hinahabol po natin yan. The plan is still, after we come up with the staffing matrix, we will inform the affected, they may appeal for reconsideration, then we will submit the staffing matrix to DPM for approval. And then once it is approved, yan, pwede na rin yung iba. No? Ito po yung this is the one I was mentioning a while ago, that it's beyond 366. You may apply for transfer to DOST, DOTC, and NTC as regular employees. Regular po means that CTI parang regular, except that wala kang career path. So you will not be able, hindi ka mapopromote. You have no chance to be promoted. But other than that, wala namang pagkakekpa. But here, the transfer is as regular. No? So, I suppose there will be some conversion. No? Because our positions are different from DOST, DOTC, and maybe NTC. No? But, you will be transferred as regular employees. Ito. No? And then, of course, yung normal, transfer to other agencies with CSC assistance, no? As CTI, although pwede kayo maging regular eventually, no? If the recipient agencies can keep you in their pavilion. No? And the transition, of course, I think, moving forward, you transition and turnover, stay with ICTO as CTI. We encourage employees who stay with us as CTI, no? To apply for regular positions, no? So that magkaroon po sila ng career path. Okay? So this is the current state we are in. We also, however, alam niyo po, ito medyo mabigat tong proseso na to eh. No? We mapped it out, and it is probably going to take us a lot longer than 2 months. So, Can you click it? Yeah. What we have done is we have requested DBM, click again, to extend it so that itong process na to, nandito yung 2 months. Okay? Well din po, I'd also like to point out this, Yun nga, sabi ko you will always have a hole in ICTO. So kung hindi kayo po successful sa pag-transfer sa ibang agencies, pwede po kayo umuwi. Next. So, ito po yung ito yung schedule as it is now. From May 2, we are given until July 2 to come up with the placement and staffing matrix. And then the plan will be implemented hanggang September. So on July 2, we are supposed to submit yung staffing matrix, decisions of affected employees, and the list of personnel availing of incentive package. Sabi ko nga po, medyo mabigat yan. Because especially for the selection and placement, yung maraming tao na pupwede sa isang posisyon, that we submit the staffing matrix, the decision, the requirements, in October. And that a second batch of employees who would like to take early retirement be allowed in October. Hindi po natin, huwag natin pong karangin yung mga gusto na mag-retire as of July 2. Okay, next. Doon naman po tayo sa frequently asked questions. As expected, napakaraming tanong, And that's good because it provides us an opportunity to achieve an understanding. Mahirap po pag hindi tayo nagkakaintindihan. Yan ang pinakamahirap. So number 1, shouldn't all the members of the CMP have endorsed the plan? Preferably po, yes. Pero sabi po ng Chief Presidential Legal Counsel, notwithstanding lack of unanimous approval of all CMP members, the CMP may proceed to submit to the DRSC Secretary for his consideration its proposed rationalization plan with notation objections of some of the members or of the unsettled issues. The DOST Secretary may, in turn, still adopt the rationalization plan as submitted to him and submit the same to the DBM with or without notation objections of some of the members of the CMP. Kompo, a complete plan was not submitted. Hindi po kompleto. It was expected that only after the staffing matrix in the list of affected employees was completed would a complete plan be considered and possibly submitted for approval to the DBM. Next. May non-organic persons participate in the preparation of the plan? Yes, EO 366 and its IRR provides that departments, agencies may likewise staff technical assistance from the DBM, the CSC, rationalization team. They may also consult with stakeholders such as clientele, academe, and technical experts. Ang mga kinonsulta po, you cannot say na hindi natin masasabi na hindi expert. We also consulted industry, the various industry associations, yung ating mga clientele. Next. Did the CMP participate in preparing the document submitted to DBM that was later approved as a complete RP? Yes. The draft version 2 was developed by management and submitted for consideration to the CMP. It was also made available to the general body for greater transparency and participation. The draft underwent several cycles of comments and revisions were done. Management has requested DBM to extend its deadline so that the document may be completed to include the staffing shift or staffing windows. Employees seem to have been overlooked. The CMP, along with the DPM and CSC, are working closely to ensure that the well-being and interests of the employees shall not be sacrificed. Kaya nga po yung kanina, yung sketch to fit everything in 2 months, medyo mahirap po talaga. In fact, next week, we plan to form the Selection and Placement Committee, which requires an election of rank and file representative. Nga po, wala po tayong list of affected sa ngayon. The CMP is working round the clock in close coordination with the CSC and DBM in an attempt to meet the current ultimate cut-off of July. Current ultimate cut-off of July 2 for availing of early retirement benefits under 366. Complying with the requirements of 6656 and other relevant issuances shall be ensured. However, there's a lot of work to be done sa atin. Next. Why were staff asked for an irrevocable letter of intent? Yung memo po ay naka-address dun sa sigurado na gusto na nilang mag-avail, regardless of whether they might be affected or not. Marami po ang decided na eh. Management thus thought it prudent not to put at risk their opportunity to avail of benefits. Kaya nilabas yung letter na yun. It was made irrevocable so that only those who have finally decided would submit. Kung hindi pa kayo sigurado, huwag. But if you are sure, please do so. Kasi, kung yan eh, baka once in our lifetime, yung opportunity na to eh. And I know that some have actually been waiting for many, many years for this opportunity. Out the effectiveness. Ito po eh, sa ngayon, it must be left to you. The only basis available at this point is the DBM-approved functions, organizational structure, and indicative staffing pattern. Job descriptions are nearly completed, but there is still a lot of work to be done. The DOST-ICTO is certainly committed to looking after the well-being of all regular and CTI who choose to stay. The challenges will not be easy, but they will be rewarding. Will be rewarding if you stay with us. Next. So, moving forward po. If there are other FAQs, pasensya na po. I will leave the details to our speakers later. Functions and organizational structure has 4 core functions and plus admin, which equals 5 service units. Wag po yan, take note, these are services. These are actually department level organizational units. They shall be headed by a director for. As institutional CIO and CTO of government, ICTO will advise government on how to best leverage ICTs to optimize delivery of public services and achieve efficient and cost-effective operation. Dun po naman sa ICT policies and standards development, the EU reaffirmed our role in leading and managing the development, adoption, and implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of national plans, policies and standards in Philippine ICT and Internet governance. Yung National Information Infrastructure Management naman po. ICTO will manage the provision of ICT infrastructure and services across the country. We will do this by further strengthening our partnership with the private sector. The 4th service is the ICT Solutions Development Services and Management. Narinig po. In the structure, it's called yung Systems and Infrastructure Development Service. In support of its role as government CIO and CTO, ICTO will manage ICT-related development services required by the government. And the fourth service is the National ICT Competency Management, where ICTO will continue to build ICT capacities and capabilities across all sectors of Philippine society through standards development. Ito po, pasensya na, medyo maliliit yung sulat eh. No? But, so,